morning, good morning, good morning. We're gonna get right into this because as you all know, I go over every single time, but we don't have time for that today because we have a 3-hour CE afterwards and lunch. So let's get moving. All right, this is the fun part.
I didn't want you to.
I'm still gonna sing it. Okay. Tell me something good. All right, 3 people. Tell me something good that's happened in the last week. I've had a shit morning and I need good news. I think I smell like my pool water right now, like it's been a morning. So I need 3 things. Tell me something good professionally or personally. Don't everybody raise your hand at once. Yes.
My bonus son has a big tournament this weekend in Toledo, so I'll be available before it. She's gonna be
Like baseball?
Yeah.
Yay! Have fun. Toledo. That's like good weather.
So what's going on? Never been.
Okay.
Since
It's a lot of land, I feel like. Maybe. I don't know if there ever. There's a zoo there.
Good. That's right.
Good. Well, good luck to him. Let us know how it goes. We'll expect a full update next week. Kim?
Today is Taylor's first team meeting. My admin,
Who is Taylor?
Taylor's my daughter, who is working on getting her, license.
Yep, she's almost finished. She's finishing up. She's gonna be licensed. Working with Kimmy. Caroline?
I just told them, you'll put him, because 65 days.
Congratulations. Is a representative for the National Postal Workers Union, and we just found out he's running unopposed for his next term.
Amazing. Like there's a lot of people that have had some of those deals in the last few weeks, so congratulations, Danita.
Our trip to Spain and France was magnificent.
Yeah. How long?
11 days.
Ah, amazing. Yeah. Get those amazing shoes there.
No.
Oh, okay. Cool. Love that. All right, one more, anybody? Okay, you all made me feel better. Thank you. Oh, wrong way.
Down.
Okay. Oh, we've also got some other good news. Has anybody seen this email from Canva come through? Okay, so Keller Williams is partnering with Canva. Does anybody use Command Designs right now? All right, who uses Canva? Yeah, okay. Who uses the paid version of Canva? Yeah, okay. All right, so Command and Canva are going to be working together. We have more information coming in Q3. We know nothing else. At the last team meeting, I gave a bunch of information that may or may not have been false, and I made my own opinions about it. I do know that it will be free to you. Okay, you will not have to pay the yearly fee that you're paying right now. And I guess the question that I have is it going to integrate into Command? Is it still going to be separate? We're not sure.
Eventually.
Eventually is what we're hearing. Maybe not Q3, but Q3 is when the partnership launches. And so if you guys are on a yearly payment right now, you might want to go monthly instead, because in Q3 you won't be paying for it anymore. What's also cool is for those of you that use Designs, the best part of Designs is when you go into Designs, if you have a new listing or you're a new agent doing an open house for another agent, you can type in the address and the photos pull in and they syndicate from the MLS. Yes, all the information syndicates. Canva does not do that, right? So now Canva will do that, which is nice. And so when we say in Command that you can make something in Designs in less than 3 minutes, you will now be able to do that in Canva. And there's going to be KW exclusive marketing pieces for you guys. So very exciting. More information to come from Lynn and probably not me. All right, quick reminder that we do have Kaplan here and K-Score. If you guys were at the last meeting, we talked about this. Basically what this is full scholarships for real estate courses. So right now there's a few places that you can get your real estate classes at. Hondros is a big one that we have a great partnership with. The CE Shop is done online. There's a few other places. And we have this additional opportunity to get the full package of the 100 hours at a full scholarship from Keller Williams Living. If you have somebody that's interested in this, you can connect them to me. You can send them to a career night. You can connect them to really anybody on our leadership team, and we will get them in classes if they want to participate. I always say, like, if you're thinking about real estate, you've ever thought about a career in real estate, there's really no reason why you wouldn't now try it because they're at a full scholarship, which means FREE, but I'm not allowed to say that. Okay. Any questions on this? All right, cool. All right, just a reminder when you're making calls, do it in a TCPA friendly way. Don't get us in trouble. All right, paint the town red. We're gonna do this for 30 seconds. So paint the town red is an opportunity to share your what?
No, 30 seconds. 30 seconds makes me laugh.
Oh. We're gonna do it in 30 seconds, I promise. We're gonna do it in 30 seconds because we're gonna get out of here in time. Town Red, it's an opportunity to share your new listings, or if you've got a very, very, very specific and stubborn buyer need. So, new listings, who's got something coming up that they want to share? Keisha.
I got one coming in Broadview Heights, 4 beds, 3.5 baths, about 360, 2,800 square foot split level. Good, decent condition, it's a little updated, but it's solid house, has a pool. Real close to the high school. I have a buyer need, this is gonna be an impossible maybe, so we're gonna make it possible.
Yeah, we are.
Twinsburg, Sullivan, not even Sullivan. Twinsburg, Macedonia, maybe parts of Aurora. Under 215.
Ooh.
Condo?
They can rent space here.
Square feet is okay.
Okay. That sounds good.
That's what we see.
Anybody else? New listings, Mike, then Wendy?
Got a renovated house, Cleveland Heights on Yorkshire, just west of Lee. It's 4 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. We're gonna be at like 3:30, really nice house. We're photographing it Friday, so it'll be on early next week. And then I have a house on Lomond, right, pretty much catty corner to the elementary school, 3 bed, 2.5 bath. It'll be like mid-30s. That, and then I need for a buyer, if anybody's got something in Fairview Park, 300,000-400,000. Gotta be in Fairview.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wendy, then Leah.
Rick Tannenbaum has a buyer who really wants to be in Nettlewood Estates in Lindhurst behind Acacia. So if you know of anything, please let him know.
Very, very, very specific. Okay, Leah?
So I have a, investment, well, it's actually, it could be a first time home buyer or an investor who's looking for a fully renovated property in the city of Cleveland. It's actually 12900 Ferris Avenue, and I believe we're gonna list it for 119, but it's 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, fully remodeled, and it's actually a quiet little street. So
Tara, I think Tara just sold.
Yeah, I think she. But actually, the price point is gonna be pretty reasonable for somebody to do a lot with this home.
Love it.
So it's fully remodeled.
Awesome. Anybody else? Going once? Going to
One more time.
Tara, then Keisha. Tara, then-
Go, Tara. Go ahead.
Go Tara.
Okay, East Pleasant Valley Drive in Seven Hills, it's a single family zone, but it could be a triplex, just saying, the city allows it to be registered as that. Coming up, West Pleasant Valley Drive in Parma, that'll be a single family home. West 44th Street duplex in Tremont off market, so you gotta call me directly. 3:30. Okay, South Belvoir Boulevard and South Euclid coming up 170. And another house on West 20th, single family, completely renovated, and then another house completely renovated on Billings Road in Kirtland. And then condos all day long downtown, please call me.
Please sell her condos. Keisha.
One more, 2-family, Larchmere area, right on Larchmere, lived in condition. Those homes that been renovated are below the 225, 250, we're going on at 130.
Lived in.
Lived
Who said it with me? Mike, you have
Real fast, I got some
4
investment.
seconds.
Investment properties too, if I may need, Section 8, Cleveland, occupied, off market.
Done. That was totally 30 seconds. Great, job, guys. Totally. All right, we got some June birthdays. Happy birthday, Keisha, Nicole, Deshawn, Elmarie, Alexandra, Kevin, Scott, Christine, Anisha, Anastasia, David, and Amani. Happy birthday. All right, we've got a new face, not new to me, but new to all of you that we want to introduce. So Lene, come up here, please. And I think you have a friend with you, or is a friend not coming?
Yeah.
I'm
Straight from corporate.
I'm good. How are you?
I feel like I have to talk really fast and really high.
No, you're good. Listen, you're good.
I'm like, oh, I'm on a timer.
No, you're not on a timer. I'm on a timer.
Okay.
You're not on a timer.
So I'm, I'm Lene Lencioni with America's Preferred Home Warranty. So about a month ago, I was with KW Elevate. I've been a realtor for 19 years, so I decided I wanted to take the next step and do something a little different and help everybody on this side of it. So I'm super, super excited. A couple things that we have, that we've been rolling out and have rolling out. How many people like to fill out data collections? I know you all love that, but you don't have to do it anymore. If you go on to Real Pro, we have videos that you can send your buyer or your seller. You just need their email and that takes care of it. So then you guys just, if you go on Real Pro, it says email, video, you click it, send it to your buyer, and then you guys don't have to fill out a data collection anymore.
The buyers fill it out?
No, they just watch a video. It's just a video. There's nothing to fill out. So they just watch a video, welcoming them to America's Preferred Home Warranty, to explaining the warranty, and also on the seller side too. And then we have this fun concierge coming up. As a realtor, I absolutely love this, because how many of you get to do your 3, 6, 9, 12 calls after you sell a house? So after you sell a house, these guys, you guys would have your buyer shoot an email to them. They would set up a call, and America's Preferred Warranty will have their own personal contact there, and they will explain the whole warranty. Then they follow up with them at 3 months, and they ask them, hey, did you have any issues? If you did, they're gonna retro and try to get it covered. They're gonna say, do you have any referrals for so-and-so agent? And then they're gonna shoot me the referral, and then I shoot it to you. They do this at 3, 6, 9, 12. So they take care of your calls right after the house comes.
So if you guys aren't making your quarterly calls, which we all should be, they will help you do that. for
Yes,
you. Yeah.
so it's just messed up to take something away, because you guys are busy selling houses, trying to get out there, and sometimes you just forget or you get too busy, so we're taking care of it for you.
So what is, can I ask a question? I think I know the answer, but what is your role within Keller Williams Living? What should people be reaching out to you for?
So if you guys have any issues with claims at all, give me a call. If you're having any issues with a client that, they said something didn't get covered, give me a call and see what I can do. If you need something explained, the Real Pro training, even if you need this concierge explained a little bit more, I'd be happy to go over it with you guys. So my cards are in the back. And my number is the same. So everybody who has Renee's phone number in their phone, when you call and you're like, Renee, I'm like, no, Lene.
Renee is still with America's
Yeah.
Preferred Home Warranty as well. She has moved into a different position. We're super excited for her. So you'll still see her around. You'll just see Lene here,
Yes.
Renee at other places, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Cool. All right. Thanks so much. Welcome to the team. We're excited to have you today. All right, and then we've also got one more friend to bring up. So I guess there's 2 of them back there. So your bagels and your breakfast were sponsored this morning by RTS, which is Residential Transfer Solutions. So John, tell everybody who you are, and tell everybody a little bit about what you're doing. And then I actually have something I want to read off afterwards, but I have to find it. So you go first.
Okay.
Mhm.
My name's John Burkhart. I've been involved with Keller Williams for, 20 years. We are the transportation arm for KW Cares. So anything that KW Cares does, we do for them. We supply the trucks that go into all of the distressed areas. The warehouse that's in Texas, we arrange for them. It's our people that go there and help them work it. We load the trucks for them. We do everything. So we have really been involved with the company. So when you talk about culture, we know your culture. We started when there was no culture and worked our way up to where we're at today. So I'm going to step back, let Chance tell you all about our services. And if I interfere, I'll try not to. Just go ahead.
Cause we can't help it.
I know.
We are not a moving company or a move concierge service. We don't have our own trucks. You do have the ways to arrange them, like we just went over with KW Cares, we take care of all that. But whenever you have a client who's looking to move, needs help with any kind, could be local, long distance. If they just need help with packing, just storage, we can help with estate sales, declutter programs. We can do a whole lot. So anything to do with a moving service, we can help take care of all. So if you have a client who's looking to move, you just refer us to them. And with one phone call, we'll get exactly all their moving information that they are, the dates when they want to move, the address where they want to move to, exactly what services they're looking for. Again, for packing, if they're looking for storage, anything of that sort. We will then schedule them to have a virtual survey done so that we know exactly what their inventory is and what they plan on moving. We are partnered with 27,000 moving companies
close.
close to, across the country. So wherever they're moving, if it's local long distance, we reach out to credible movers who have the right insurance, the right, capability, the right crews. If they need crating, they do the right service and all that. We reach out to those companies, give the inventory list of your client to them, and they tell us how much they predict that we would charge this much for that move. After we collect about 3 or 4 prices from different moving companies, we present them to your client, exactly how we receive it. So whatever companies told us they can do it, that's what we show to your client. Whenever your client has any questions about anything, we have dedicated move coordinators who can go over all the different quotes, exactly what each company is offering. If one company is offering free boxes, one might offer higher valuation, whatever it may be. We have coordinators that will go over every single part of each quote, and your client will tell us exactly who they want to move with. Once your clients tell us who they want to move with, we'll line them up with them. We can be the point of contact for everything, or the client can talk straight to the mover from there. We basically just try to make it a one-stop shop where your client doesn't have to do any of the legwork. We do all the legwork for them. They just tell us, we're moving from here to here, is the dates we want. What can you do for us? And then we just try and get everything settled for them. And
Just so you know, this is my son. So I'm sitting here just listening. I'm enjoying this.
And I did hear at the last team meeting that you've actually moved Gary Keller a few times.
I have moved Gary 3 times. I have moved Mary Tennant 2 or 3 times. Gosh, I don't, Diane Kokoskis. There's not too many I have not moved. If you've ever been to Austin and seen the headquarters, I moved him into the headquarters. I was there over Christmas one year. As a matter of fact, he was about this big. And he lived in a hotel with me for a week while we moved them over Christmas.
Sure.
Mary Tennant was the president at that time. And we really did, we've done a lot with Keller Williams. So we have a company that we are part of that's in Chicago. So the name of the company is called Moriali Real Estate Services. The only thing they don't do is real estate. So they do about 30,000 relocations a year. And with that 30,000 relocations, they're responsible for finding agents to list their homes and sell their homes. So that's something that we're going to throw at you folks and give you an opportunity to spread out amongst your people. So, what's that?
I love that.
Okay.
We love that.
So they've come to us. They do a lot of work with Howard Hanna. Last year, they gave Howard Hanna 395 listings in the Ohio market.
Boo.
It's not going to happen no more. Howard Hanna is not going to be part of it. It's all going to be KW from going forward.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to add about our services, we do have a referral fee that goes back to the agents when they refer a client to us and the move is successful. You can talk with Ricky about how much that percentage is. We are discussing exactly all that right now. You'll have better understanding later today. So, but you will, if you do refer a client, you do get a percentage that goes back to you. So you get to take care of your client nicely and a little bit extra money for yourself.
And if anybody has any, if you want to verify who we are, I think Amanda would be more than glad to talk for me.
I've known this man and the company for a long time. We go way back when
We
we
do.
were doing a lot with KWRI, so yeah. Fantastic, the moving company, John is very, very well known in the industry, lots of great connections, and I'm talking nationwide, so. Now that his son is in the business, I think it's really, really cool. Because you got an icon up there, so really cool to see you.
Not much longer, not much longer.
Okay.
We also had them in at Elevate's team meeting back in May, and Stephen Gates, who's one of our agents there, asked some questions to you guys. And it sounds like since that meeting, he sent me a text yesterday and said, my clients who are moving across the country stated that RTS has done a great job for them. RTS was able to coordinate 5 moving quotes. They helped the sellers sell items, including the furniture, and they were a great resource. And that was like in the last 35 days, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
So we're moving them to Bend, Oregon.
Is that Mike?
Yeah, it's Mike. So we're moving them to Bend, Oregon. He couldn't believe because The prices he was getting were $30,000. We got him priced 17.
Yep.
17,
Yeah.
18,000, and it's with a very well qualified company. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So if you have any questions, they'll be hanging out in the back the rest of the afternoon for a little bit, and then we can also, you guys can grab some of their information too.
That's okay, go ahead.
She said don't do it, so I don't wanna be out of order.
Go ahead, Leah.
Okay, I just wanna know where you are out of, like what you're based out of, where you based out of.
Independence.
Okay, so you actually
It's
local.
local.
Oh,
Yes, yeah,
okay.
we have a,
Terrifying.
on Oak Tree Boulevard, tallest building there, we're on the 5th floor.
Oh.
We have most of the 5th floor. So, yeah, we're up there. Anybody wants to come, if you ever need an office,
I always.
we have a
Yes.
huge office there that we can let you use and be glad to help you sponsor. Okay, all right.
Awesome, thanks so much.
If you guys need the QR code, it's gonna be on the slide, so you can take a look at it later.
Cool, all right, we got the Macon Spotlight. So around here, if you see something, you say something. And anytime you see somebody being amazing, you get to tell Gabrielle, and then she prints this out for us, and then we get to call on them in the middle of a meeting. So Terrace Emoji was nominated by Felicia Woodbury and probably everybody else on her team this month. She says to say Tara is heaven sent would be an understatement. Nearly 6 months ago, my world turned upside down when my mother tragically passed away in a car accident. At the time, I had multiple transactions in progress, and Tara stepped in without hesitation. She managed everything seamlessly, allowing me to focus on funeral arrangements and caring for my injured father. Thanks to her dedication, every client made it to the closing table without a single hiccup. Beyond her professionalism, she continuously checked in on my mental and emotional well-being. I honestly don't know how she finds the time given how hard she works. Tara, thank you for being my rock during these past few months. I truly don't know how I would have made it without you. All right, we've got one more. So Keisha Wagner. There's some nice things about Keisha. She was nominated by Antonio Smith, also on Tara's team. And Antonio says she went above and beyond on a reverse mortgage short sale and pushed HUD to get the final approval so we can close the deal. Not only that, she worked diligently with her sellers to prepare them for closing and was patient with my buyers all the way through. Thank you, Keisha. Yeah. Any way that we can find to get creative in this market, but
I would say, do you lose your clicker?
no, not yet. All right, so we got a few new agents. We had a great month last month. So we welcomed 9 agents into KW Living. A few of them were licensed, a few of them were newer. So Angela Little, Jennifer Mangala, Will Murphy. It's the first month, we'll get there. Okay, Yuri Melican, we're gonna get there. Rhonda Cannon, had great photos. She's getting photos done. Amani Graves. And that's it. Congratulations. So I think it was from the last team meeting that we did. Yeah. Cool. All right, we've got a few cappers as well in May. So congratulations to Melanie Leone, Trish Roru, Graham Pritchard, Jordan Shoger, Tina Griffiths, and Drew Gabeling. Maybe one more slide. Yep. Ryan Shirley, Melinda Chamberlain, Donna and David Toth, Kathleen and Dennis Bergansky. Congratulations on capping. Big money.
Check out the capper wall.
Oh, right. Did everybody see the capper wall? Okay, I know we had ALC walk that way and then go say thank you to Gabrielle and Ricky for putting it together. It looks amazing.
Gabrielle.
It's awesome for our power walk when we're getting new agents in here, so it's awesome. All right, May top producers.
Got it. Kathleen and Dennis Bergansky, Sean Castillo, Melinda Chamberlain, Felice Cologne, Bob Cugini, Karen Downing, Christina and Ron Dugas, James Spear, Sally Fry, Andre Godes, Matt Jenks, Stacy and Michael Jones, Leah Jones, Mary Jo and Michael Kormashoff, Diana and Mike Magno, Laura Murata, Danielle McCandless, Michaela Palick, Michaeline and Bob Paul, Kim Pelsozi, Amanda Pullman, Graham Pritchard, Mike Roberts, Carly Sablotny, Ryan Shirley, Jordan Shoger, Terrace Emoji, Rick Tannenbaum, Journey Tool, CJ Trevisano, Mary Vetta, Keisha Wagner, Kaylee Ladarsic, and Mo Ladarsic.
Okay, I'm doing so good on time here. Okay, so I want to have a conversation. We've got a good group of people here, so I feel like there might be some interaction. Who is feeling like the market feels a little wonky right now? Yes? Who's like, yeah, I feel like it wasn't in this Facebook group, but in the Elevate Facebook group, somebody said today, does anybody else want to fire all of their buyers right now? Right? And everybody was like, yes, 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 yes. I think there was like one person that said keep pushing through, but everybody was like, yes, 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 yes. So we just wanted to have a conversation and bring in a few of the tactics from the shift book as we continue to move into this new market. Does anybody listen to the podcast Empire Builders? One. Did you listen to the most recent ones? Okay. So I'm not a huge podcaster, I'll be honest. I know, just Empire Builders and yours, actually. And a little crime junkie, I'm feeling it. I want you guys to write this down. I want you to write down Empire Builders. It is a podcast. There is 4 women that run it. And every single week, obviously, they're talking about something different. But the last 2 podcasts that they released this Monday and last Monday are a must listen. Okay. Now, there's so much of a must listen that I haven't listened to part 2 yet that came out on Monday. And it's been a busy week. And so I will. Anyways, they were talking through getting creative with listings and setting expectations with sellers in today's market. And they got very raw and real in the podcast. And they were giving tactical advice on what you should be doing and the conversations you should be having with sellers right now. Has anybody had listings sit on the market in the last 90 days? Anybody still have something sitting on the market, right? And so the podcast said something, and they said, if you have been licensed after the year of 2011, you have not experienced what we are starting to experience. And so even if you've been licensed 10, 12 years, it hasn't been 14 years. And so you've never seen this market. We were talking about this in ALC this morning, and we said, we saw the market of 2022 or 2021 when everybody was frustrated because we had a bunch of buyers, but cash was winning out, and we're still seeing a little bit of that. But now there's frustration in the market because there's like, we don't know what your house is going to list at. We can't just put it on the market and see what happens, right? Some of them are sitting a little bit longer. Like the market is almost like a little niche-y in every single market that we're seeing. And we are seeing it at the market center level. And so I know that you guys are seeing it at the agent level. So we just wanted to have a real conversation and bring some of the shift tactics into it. Has anybody read Shift? Okay. If you haven't read Shift by Gary Keller, you should go do that too. Okay, because that talks about here's 12 tactics on what you could be doing right now. And they say that the market share, obviously, that you're taking right now is going to propel your business over the next few months when we come out of this. And so if you haven't read it or you have read it, I suggest that you go back and read it again. I also just wanted to share a few numbers that Ricky gave us this morning at ALC. Before we get into this. So at ALC, Agent Leadership Council meeting, we talked through the numbers of the previous month and the success that KW Living has had, or real conversations of, is company dollar down? Is volume per agent down? And stuff like that. So even as the market is shifting a little bit, I want to read these things to you. So Keller Williams Living in May of 2025, we are at the highest agent count that we've ever had before, which is 168 agents. We had the highest gross commission income ever in a single month in May of 2025. We have the highest contracts written. We have the highest listings sold. We have the highest listings sold in volume, and we had the highest listings taken. There's a few other things on here. And yet we're still feeling it a little bit, right? And so I think it's important to know that, I think Tara said it.
First of all, woohoo!
I know. And Tara was like, we're not feeling it. I'm like, but everybody's kind of feeling it a little bit, right? I do. And so anyways, the point is read the Shift book. The first part of this that I'm going to get into is Get Real, Get Right. And I would suggest that you guys go back and watch those podcasts from Empire Builders, part 1 and part 2, and I'll watch part 2 as well. So the first one is Get Real, Get Right. And if you're thinking to yourself right now, I can't do this. First of all, Tara's like, we better not go into this meeting like this. My question to you is, are you on track for your goals? Do you need to revisit your goals for 2025? We are doing this at the market center level. So we've got a GPS, just like you guys all have a GPS, right? Yes. And we are looking at what are the things that we are committed to doing, what are the things that have changed in our market and in our market center, and then what are the things that we're recommitting to do. And so asking yourself, what does your GPS look like? What are the goals that you wrote down for yourself? And do you need to recommit to different goals? Because I don't think the last half of 2025 is going to give us as much grace as the first half did. And so having those questions and really just getting right and getting real. And then I feel like we've heard this a lot, but it's the market. It's probably not, it's likely your lead generation, right? So as you think about getting into the last half of 2025, just making sure, who was licensed like March 2020? A few of you? Okay, do you remember like when the world shut down March 2020 and everybody was like freaking out for the first 45 days? Yes? Okay. If that's when James Shaw started doing his calls, his pivot calls, and they were like, if you were doing 20 calls a day, you have to do 40 calls a day in order to just get the same amount of answers. If you were going on 20 appointments, now you need to go on 40 appointments. If you were doing this many closings, you have to do this many closings because they're going to fall out. And then the market was insane and nobody expected that. But we've almost got to get into like the March 16th, 2020 mindset as we go into this shift. Like whatever you're doing now is not going to be good enough unless you double down on the things that you're doing. And Leah, you said something at ALC, like you talk to us, tell me, sorry, I'm putting you on the spot, but what did you say about the mindset part of it?
No, I just, around that time, I remember, everybody was like freaking out, you know, and everything was so hard, but it was like, I never really, for me, I never gave into that mindset. I always kind of set my mind to just believe that it was gonna be okay, and that I could do it. Like interest rates, all the talk, all of the things, I mean, it's mindset work is everything to me in this business. I mean, I think it starts with the mind and then it goes from there, but you have to like block out what the negativity is what I'm trying to say. I mean, it may be some truth to some of the stuff, but you really kind of have to put blinders on and just kind of stay in your lane and you can thrive. You can thrive in any market.
Yeah. And Tara was on a call with me last week and she said something and we kind of got to the nitty gritty of it. But if you focus on the activities and you're unattached to the results, right, it's easier for you to just do the thing. So I'm just going to make the 20 calls. It doesn't matter who answers. I'm just going to go on this many appointments. Doesn't matter how many I get, right? I'm just going to do these things. If you're attached to the activity and not the outcome, it becomes a little bit easier to do the activity. All right. Next one. So that's scary color if anybody's new in here. So remargin and cut your expenses. So a lot of the shift book talks about like going through your expenses and cutting out the things that aren't working. And so a lot of us, I think, get into the space of, I just went to Bold and they have this discount on these AM cards. They're not a sponsor here today, so I can say that, right? And then we sign up for these cards and then we realize 9 months later that we're not using the cards, right? And so my challenge to you guys, as you look at your business expenses in a shifting market when things are changing a little bit, if you're feeling it, is to go down and audit your monthly expenses, see what you guys are paying for, check what your ROI is. If you're not making money on the postcards right now, cut them out. If you're making more money and dollar per hour on doing open houses, then go do more open houses, right? So remargin, cut your expenses, and then double down on what is or what is not working right now and cut that out if it's not working. Yes? Okay. The energy's like way low as we talk about the market shifting. It's all right. Okay, so I talk about this a lot. Does anybody know what a 15th protocol is?
Something about the 15th of the month.
So right. So right. Janice knows what it is. We talked about it, right? What's the 15th protocol, Janice?
So if you haven't hit your goals by the 15th, what are you gonna do to make up that gap? So you don't have your listening appointments, you have your calls, like what are those things that you need to do to make sure that you don't get to the end of the month without those activities or goals being met?
So if you have paper, I want you to write something down. If you don't have paper, you can just think about it. If you had to get a deal, I did this at a mastermind last week. If you had to get a deal closed next week, what would you do? If you had to get a deal closed next week, not a new listing, if you had to get a deal closed next week, what would you do? Write it down or think about it. Keisha, what was your answer?
Buy a house.
She said I'd buy a house myself. She said I'd buy a house myself. I said, okay, that counts, right? But the 15th protocol, the goal of it is I'm not on track. We do this as a leadership team. If you're not on track for your goals by the 15th of the month, what is your 15th protocol? And so if your goal was to go on 10 appointments this month and you're only at 3 by the 15th, what are you going to do to make up that time, to make up those other 7 appointments before the end of the month? So it's called a 15th protocol. And for us in our world, it is around the 15th of the month. And if we forget to do it, our region reminds us to do it, right? And so what I would encourage you guys to do is figure out what your 15th protocol is, and maybe on the 15th of the month, it's a calendar invite to yourself that says 15th protocol. And like, how good does it feel on the 15th of the month when we get to email the region back and say, we're on track to hit our goals, right? It doesn't feel as great when we have to say we're not on track and these are the things that we're committed to doing for the next 15 days. But having some type of 15th protocol and accountability in your business is something that I would say, as we go into this market, as things get a little bit wonkier than they are, accountability is going to be the most important thing that you can give to yourself, especially alongside mindset. And so instilling some sort of 15th protocol is a suggestion that I would give to you guys, whether it's monthly, whether it's quarterly, whatever. Yeah.
So what are they? Because I would say if I need to do business in 15 days, we're gonna hold open houses.
Mhm.
And we're gonna do them on Tuesdays, we're gonna do them on Thursdays, we're gonna do them on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. And we will get a deal.
I would call an investor and say, hey, what can I get you to buy in the next 2 weeks, right? An investor is another one.
What else?
What else?
What are you gonna do to get deals in 15 days?
Call Keisha, everybody.
She's got a great realtor. And a great. What else? You might well.
Get on the phone. You're gonna lead generate. You don't want to lead generate,
Yeah, you gotta get on the phone.
but you are. Who are you calling, Leah?
Anybody you know, everybody. I'm talking about from Facebook to everywhere. Somebody, you know, I mean, somebody will be able to either refer someone to you, or maybe they need help themselves. I
Call your
mean,
business partners.
and
call your
honestly-
vendors, call your inspectors, call your, I mean, they're out here and know kind of who may need your services.
I mean,
Go out on social and say the usual, I'm in a competition, I'm looking for
Yeah.
X amount by the end of the month.
Well, isn't that crazy?
people
Like how
around you.
Bold does that just by really being
It
around
happens.
other
It
people.
works.
Yeah, it works every single time. I was just talking to Diana and she was like, all my deals from Bold are closing like in this week, everything that she got under contract. Yeah.
I've been having some success with re-engaging old leads as
Okay.
well. I didn't think they wanted to hear from me, but they'd be like, oh, I was just thinking about you.
They're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay, good. So re-engage Gold leads. Somebody said I'd call my mom, like, cause my mom would like feel bad for me. And they give me somebody, right? Somebody else said I take like the top 5 people who, kind of to Keisha's point, like the top 5 people who give me business, and I'd schedule lunch with all of them, right? So, yeah,
Or your raving fans offer to go meet them at work and take something of value, like a $40 plate of cookies and all your business cards. Ask them to help you spread the love that they trust you as their realtor.
I think that always too is try to move people's timelines up, right? So maybe somebody's not gonna do something right away, but if you go to them and say, what if I'm able to get you a deal on a house you love? Hey, there's opportunity in the market right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, I shouldn't say that. There's listings out there that if people made an offer, they could probably get a pretty good deal right now because we don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna start picking up as we get more into summer and people are trying to get in toward the end of the school year. So I think that would be.
well, we also don't know the seller's motivation if we've got the buyer, right? And so like sometimes again, moving up that timeline could just be like, what would it look like to call this listing agent and ask them what they're motivated by? Maybe it's not always price. And so could we move that up by making an offer that's a little bit lower than what the market suggests right now?
Or if
Yeah,
somebody doesn't wanna move quite yet, cause they're in a rent saving, they are out of their lease for like 3 months, hey, maybe we can negotiate, get you.
enough money to pay that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's creative. Leah, you had your hand up.
I don't know, I have a couple things, there's always something, you know, in my world, I would say, it just depends on where you are in your business, and I know everybody's in a different kind of space, but what comes to mind for me is sometimes I have people that are looking, and I don't have as much urgency around it for whatever reason for them, they may not either, so we're just kind of like, okay, when something pops up, but you could really like double down with them, the ones that have kind of been looking and haven't been successful in the last few months, and just like go all in.
Yeah.
To like find something and say, you know what, by the end of this week, we're gonna find something. I mean, and it's now obvious if there's nothing on the market,
Sure.
that's one thing. that you could just kind of go all in on the current, clients that you have that have been just kind of dragging along. I mean, that happens and.
Yeah.
You might
I
find-
feel like when you set that expectation, like, we're gonna find you something by this week or in the next 10 days, they're like, okay, we're gonna find me something in the next 10 days.
Right.
Like, and they're almost like on board with it as much as you
Right,
are.
create
Yes,
that.
yeah,
that
the momentum
energy-
and
the
the
energy back,
excitement,
right, get
yeah.
the energy back.
Yeah.
Right.
And you ask your listings to get price reduced, you look for price reductions,
Yes.
Yeah.
because you'll sell those houses if you come up with some really good ones.
Yes.
That's true.
Cool. Anybody else? Okay. Can't wait to see what I all do in 15 days. Okay, so trust and education is another one that they talk about in the book a little bit. So the point to this is, actually, I'm gonna come, has anybody ever seen this, The Circle of Trust? Okay, so there's a great, session called Value Squared that Gary Keller and Jason Abrams did a few years ago, maybe a year ago. And they talk through this circle of trust and making sure that you're building in with all of your clients, your buyers and your sellers. And it can really, it starts with empathy, right? As you're talking to clients and understanding and caring and then being super authentic, which we talk about a lot. It goes into competency, transparency, and dependability. And basically it doesn't stop. You're continuously doing this for your clients. And the second that you don't do one of these, you have to then earn that trust back, and it's very hard to do so. So as we think through a shifting market and educating your clients, this is going to be the biggest one of them. And the one that I want to talk about is competency a little bit, because we do know that we work with a lot of agents that aren't always as competent. And so it is our job right now to making sure that we're providing value and education to the people that we're going into business with, so that they can start to build the circle of trust with us. And so if you don't know what some of these charts are that are on the next two screens, I would encourage you to find out what they are, and you can ask me. But I would encourage you to find out what they are, find out how to run these reports, and make sure that you are very educated in being the local economist in your area and the areas that you are serving right now. And so this is from Trend Graphics. This is from the MLS. You guys see this, right, in the MLS?
Yeah.
Yes? I was at my mastermind and a guy from a different brokerage didn't have it. I was like, oh my God, they only have this at KW. You have to join us. Which totally isn't true. But it's crazy, right? Like the back end markets is one of the highest it's ever been. The price decreases, right? And so understanding these numbers so that you can go in confidently to sellers and to these listing presentations and say, sellers, whoever you are, this is what this looks like right now, just to set those expectations that this is not 2 years ago. You want to make sure that you understand these numbers. You want to make sure that you're looking at the market updates that Jose is doing, that Keller Williams is doing, that you're looking at the sales and you're pulling these from the MLS. And if you have questions on any of this, I can show you how to find all of these things. But really being a local economist and showing education and value has likely never been more important than it is and will be in the next, I would say, few years. Yeah.
And then you should just go to ACAR and they pull reports every single month. And those reports are very easy to follow. They are by county. So for some of you, you might not like that. Then those will show you month over month, year over year, price reduction, price decreases, listings, and how many more listings there are on the market, across the board, how many less sales there are, how many less pendings there are. And it will also show you things like the median price this year over last year of that same month. And that's really important, because then you're showing people, no matter what the market's doing, look, the average price is going up. So having your money in real estate is going to help you in the long run, no matter what these interest rates are, no matter what people say about the market. The dream of home ownership is going to build more wealth to you. And ACAR has them. They're available. Your ACAR members, I would think all of you, and you can use those graphs in every way.
Are they released, or do you have to?
Every month.
They are
they're
released,
So just go, whatever you follow ACAR,
Yeah.
whether it's they send you emails or you
Yeah.
go follow their social, those are available, and those are great graphs to take to your listing appointments. And show people what's going on in the market, when sellers think, they can price high and have any sort of condition. No, look what's happened, what's happening.
Can I ask the question? What are you guys taking to listing presentations right now to show those numbers? Does anybody want to share? Is it some of these graphs? Is it the ACAR stuff? Like, Amanda, I'm assuming you're taking the ACAR stuff and you're just like spelling it out for these sellers. Like, what kind of?
Well,
tools
you're
are you using?
being the local economist because you got to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you're also taking your, like, for us, it's 555, what's sold in the last, but not 6 months. 6 months
Yeah.
isn't relevant.
No, it's not.
What's sold in the last 90 days?
Yeah.
Even sometimes 60 days. But it's, yeah, it's you doing your CMA, but maybe doing it a little bit differently, and then being able to explain it.
Is anybody else running reports and taking them on listing appointments? Or we all just hoping our smiles gonna get
Fill
it?
them before I get there.
You emailed before, yeah, Lynette?
I used to print on showing time. There is a report that prints how many buyers, are in that territory. Like, so if you put in the zip code, it'll tell them how many buyers last week were looking in that. So like, if you have a certain, you can break it out by price range. And then it'll say 300 buyers last week were looking in this zip code. This is why you need to get your house listed, you know?
Interesting.
And then on the MLS, you could break it down by county too, that first thing, so I would break it down by county, because you serve so many different counties.
Sure.
That you can bring it, you know, towards that county.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the trend credits.
And you're absolutely right about the showing time report, because then when somebody wants to be in the wrong price range, you can show how much more likely they are to get eyes on their property if they just drop down to the one below.
Yeah.
And a lot of agent strategies are pricing lower than the market so that they can still elicit the multiple offers. Because that strategy is working when there's such a gap between what sellers believe their house is worth and what's actually happening right now. And bridging that gap is a lot of conversation, a lot of data until they actually realize the market has softened.
I saw something from the podcast that I wrote down and, they said something like, it's never gonna be their house. That's wrong. It's always gonna be you, right? It's always, you have the wrong price. It's never their house. And so Phil Jones, if you guys know who that is, had said that instead of saying this is the list price, he started saying this is the coming to market price. And so it kind of takes the pressure off. This is the list price. This is likely what we're going to sell it at. This is the coming to market price. And then we're going to figure out what the market says about the house. And then we're going to make adjustments from there. So it's no longer, this is the list price. This is what we're going to list it at. This is just the coming to market price. And then we're going to see what the market says once we put it on the market. So anyways, there was a few things out of like a few just little nuggets out of that podcast. And then it also said like sellers all want to know, what have you done for me today? Right. So again, like just making sure that you guys are consistent in your communication and the relationship that you have with your sellers. You are doing 100 things for them and they don't know that unless you remind them. Right. And so consistently reminding them the things that you're doing to help them sell their price at the coming to market price that you have. Cool. Okay, so bullet grouping your business. I just shared this last week, so I wanted to share it here too. In the first quarter of 2025, 14.3% of deals fell apart across the United States, which is the highest number it's ever been. Okay, it is, except there's a little asterisk in there. It's the highest number it's ever been outside of the first like 45 days of COVID, when everybody was like freaking out. And so they didn't like, financially, they didn't know if they were going to lose their jobs. And so deals fell out. Take that first 45 days out, 14.3% across the United States, which is about 1 in 7 deals. Has anybody had a deal fall apart in the last 30 to 60 days?
Absolutely.
So we are having some conversations at the market center level on like education around getting creative, with keeping deals together. Because it does seem like, so tell me why, the people that were raising their hand, why are deals falling apart? Bad agents, got it. Number 2, Mike, why have yours fallen apart?
Most recently, financing.
Financing,
Appraisal.
Why on appraisal?
It came in low. It did. It came in low. Honestly, it was just shocking, but it did. And we even went back at it. And actually, we got a little bump on it, but long story short, it didn't do it.
Did you have the buyer or the seller?
I had the buyer.
Okay, and the seller wasn't willing to come down and the buyer wasn't willing to come up.
Wanted out, and I was like, why? And they're still on the market, right? It's 2 weeks ago. They're still on it. We were trying to work. We were trying to get them to work with us.
Yeah.
And they really were like, it was crazy. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I hadn't had one of these in all. It's been a while.
So sellers feel like their houses should be going in multiples, right? And buyers feel like they're already overpaying because of interest rates. They should be overpaying, really. And so in that little gap, that's why it's falling apart there, or like inspections is another huge one that we're seeing. So we have at K1, we have a transaction coordinator, Sarah, which I don't know if anybody uses her here, but she has said a ton of deals have fallen apart, and it's right after inspections because the buyers aren't willing the sellers aren't willing to do anything, the buyers aren't willing to change anything, and so you're in this in between. Why else are deals falling apart? Anything else?
Crappy lenders that aren't thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And problem solving before it becomes a problem.
Mhm. What does
Crappy
that mean?
lenders.
Oh, with the lenders,
Like
you
I
mean?
literally had
Yeah.
2 lenders get fired. And we're on the 3rd one and we just found out like 3 weeks after we're supposed to close that the buyer can't get financing. Oh, that's nice. Really? We're just.
Bad expectations. Yeah, Amanda?
I just think there's a lot of uncertainty out there and I just think buyers are feeling it. I think economically, you know, we're all feeling like there might be signs of a recession, but then there aren't. So I think there's uncertainty and I think sometimes some of our experience seem to be just kind of cold feet at the last minute
Yeah.
for no real reason.
Yeah.
And they're willing to lose their earnest money or fight about it, and it's shocking.
Yeah, it's scary.
Shocking.
Leah, you agree on somebody else?
You know,
I did not. I was
Karen.
going to say the same
Poor
thing.
Karen.
And it just said,
Poor
we can't
Karen.
disguise it or package it in whatever excuse or reason to the inspections. I think that there's just such an urgent feeling to cure a house that when given a few days to think about this, I think maybe this
Yeah.
isn't really, maybe I'm overthinking, maybe I'm.
Yeah.
And the stress is hiding.
And, yeah.
It's hiding.
And they're like, we should be doing this, right? Should we be doing this?
Yeah.
And then it
And
comes
then
out, and
the
they're like, maybe I
lender-
shouldn't be
When
doing
the
this.
lender
Yeah.
gives them this is your monthly, and by the way, your insurance is this, I think they're just going, oh, sticker shock, no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for the rates to come down, okay, well, they're
Right,
going
the
up.
lenders
Yeah,
have
they're
been
not
doing
going
that
to fight.
before.
I think what Amanda says is true though. A lot of people is just feeling it. It's a little
Yeah.
weird. They're stressed. So I think it's uber important that we as the agents, Jeff Young used to tell me all the time, you have to be the calmest person in the room.
Yeah,
So if you take that energy into a transaction to your client,
yeah.
they're gonna feel it and it's gonna take it. So I had to deal with, it's awesome, I'm say that with, oh, what the heck's the name? It's Rachel Thompson at Metropolitan.
Yeah, the he, she, the her,
She-
she.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're amazing.
Yeah, they're
We had a
amazing.
deal
Rachel's
that-
amazing.
She had a lovely client, my seller was fantastic, we were even doing some like updating to the kitchen for him, blah, blah, blah. And Huntington Bank kept saying, oh, it's okay, everything's good, we're just waiting on this 45 days in, well, we can't do the one. We've been fighting it for a week, I'm like, you've been telling me for a week, we're fine, you know,
Yeah.
and. My seller could have just gotten pissed, they could have just like thrown in the towel. Instead, we stayed calm with our clients, explained the situation, we got another lender involved that was able to take a look at it. Get it done, then we were having to get down payment assistance, well, the down payment assistance was great, they gave her 30 grand, which was like unbelievable.
That's great.
If anybody doesn't know about
Yeah,
these
finding
programs.
finding the resources.
Yeah, so you found a resource that can make it work. Now that ended up taking 2 weeks because they have to get it through Cleveland Heights. And so they're like, we're sending it, and 2 weeks later it came. But again, we were able to keep everybody calm. Hey, and I was able to like circle back with my seller and say, we really don't want to go back to the market. This is what's going on in the market. If you're gonna go back, you're gonna say that it's take glass. She really wants the house.
Yeah.
Right.
And it ended up just being like an awesome whatever for everybody. Everybody was so happy at the end, but again, like we stayed calm. We stayed focused on, and I think sometimes like, not Keller Williams, of course, other agents though, it's like they go into it and they forget, I'm so combative, right? It just like throws like kerosene on a fire, whatever you say.
Yeah.
And stay focused on, like, use those ACARD, that the dream of home ownership means that you're going to create wealth, because overall, last year, Cleveland was one of the highest appreciation cities at almost 8.5%, 9%. So if you bought a house last year to this year, you have created wealth in your house. So if you keep buyers focused on creating wealth and the difference between a renter's net worth of 10,000 and a buyer's net worth of, 300 love, that's the focus to get them to the finish line. And I think they'll come back and thank you. There's so many times that they do, and they're like, thank God, you kind of talk sense into me. And
Yeah.
that's what's happening, even in this market. They're gonna still make money because we're still going up. Our prices are still going up.
Well, and I think a few years ago too, it was like, oh, well, we'll just get another buyer for this listing. Like, I don't, you know what I
yeah.
mean? And then buyers were like, well, I'll just write another offer. And now that's not the case,
No.
right? And so we really need to like, I think even as agents, we sometimes are like, well, we'll just get another client on this. Well, we'll just put it on the market again. Like, I think we need to stop and say, hold on a second, like, how can we try to create a true win-win amongst us, the other agent, both clients, to make sure like, I think something else I heard in the podcast, and I'm sure that all of you guys say this anyways, but when you're talking to your clients, like, I understand that this is stressful and this is what I do every day. Like, this is just my job, right? And so like, again, I think just making sure that we can keep to the keep to the relationship, make sure that we're making them feel better, like they will, to Amanda's point, thank you at the end. Yeah, Carolyn.
So actually, what you were just saying is exactly what I was about to say. It has to be a switch in mindset
Yeah.
in this market, because we have to stay solution-based to keep these deals together. It's so much stuff happening within the deal. You know, the deal I just talked about in the beginning, the first question that they kept asking me, I mean, do your buyer really wanna go through this? I said, do you really think we're gonna do all of this and go everything?
Yeah.
She didn't wanna buy a house.
Yeah, the
It's
answer is
like,
yes.
what's your mindset?
Yeah,
It's like, why is your mindset not to keep this deal together?
yeah,
If we can keep it together and stay solution based and get it done, why would we not do that? Why would your seller wanna get a whole nother buyer and my buyer have to go find a whole nother house?
Right.
It's ridiculous.
right.
Yeah, and that's the whole key. So I think it's important for us, if we have that passion for what we're doing for our clients, we have to show that to the co-broke that may not have that same passion.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it might teach them a little something.
Yeah.
Right.
It might teach them a little something. Yes, to all of that. I will move on from that.
I know, we could have another
Yeah,
hour.
this one-
I know.
We could have done that.
And I would love to, and I think we're gonna do something like this in July, but like, just like creative ways, right? Like creative financing, creative ways that you've kept the deal together, like just small little things that have worked for you on both sides of the deal, I think is something that could be a real class and mastermind that we talk through to say like what has worked. Like, I mean, to your point, like again, finding a different financing and then you actually found them more money, right? Or saying like, no, we're like, to Carolyn's point, we're not getting out of this, like we're in this, so let's just figure out how to make this work, like stopping, slowing down. I think it could be an entire class, but I did promise I wouldn't go over on time. So, anyways, go out there, be a lion, that's all. Okay. We've got a few upcoming classes. Blinn, this is you.
Yes.
Yes.
So I have an AI class basically showing you how to use AI, all the free features for ChatGPT, and how to create basically a report for yourself so you can show your value.
Cool. June 24th, 12 o'clock, Zoom?
Yep.
Zoom.
Only.
Zoom only. You guys have the link in your email. If not, reach out to Lynn, she'll get it to you. Cross Country Mortgage, Chris?
Hello.
Hello. You wanna talk about what you're doing?
Renovation loans, solutions, obviously a big topic of conversation is how are we gonna get deals done? If you have a listing that you know is, right for a renovation product, we can get ahead of it and basically say, hey, here's the program you have. If the buyer is into it, speak to me. I can lay out the entire process of how we can buy the house in its current condition, immediately do renovations and move into their.
Chris is also doing a class with Rick next month in July. More details to come on bulletproofing the transaction. I hear there's lunch, so we'll make sure it's going to be a 2-part series. So we'll make sure that we get you that. And then next week, this is just a reminder to anybody that did register, the Amanda Pullman will be on the panel. It is sold out. I could probably sneak like 1 or 2 more people in. If you didn't get a tech ticket, yes, I did get your message. So now I can only sneak 1 more person in because Leah asked me. If you are not able to come, this is a free event. If you are not able to come, please, please, please tell me because it is sold out and we do have some people that want tickets and I would love to get them in the room if you can't be there.
I forgot Tara.
Oh, and Tara.
What?
Tara, you're here too.
Oh,
with
yeah.
me, yes.
Yeah. I'll buy it.
Well, we're like moderating. We're just like the fun part of it, you know? It's gonna be amazing. We're talking about pricing it right. We're talking about setting expectations. I've asked each of the panelists to give me one of their little superpowers when it comes to listings, and then we're gonna have a playbook to give you guys afterwards. It's gonna be awesome. So again, I could probably sneak like 1 or 2 more people in, and if you can't make it, please let me know as soon as possible. And that might be it. Yes. Okay. So American Title, we've got an amazing CE class, 3 hours of the required ethics starting at 12:30. So you guys can hang out for a minute if you want to. If you are registered, you can join. If you're not registered, you can join. So we'll get started at 12:30. It is 3 hours. Oh, Diana has one more thing to say. Diana, why don't you stand up?
Okay, so maybe like you bring on charity event, the charity event on Friday for the Alzheimer's Association, it's $50, it's 3 hours of golf. Food, alcoholic beverages. All proceeds goes to the Alzheimer's Association. It's
You
full-
can't go to Top Golf for $50. So
No,
it's
cannot.
$50, it's food, it's drinks, it's Diana.
And there's lots of, baskets for silent auction, there's a lot of great stuff. Don't wanna miss it, $50.
Yeah, bring a friend. You can find the sign in from the office. Leah.
And I just wanna say, you all should really come. I went last year, I'm going again, and it's just a way to just unwind. If you have a few hours for lunch, just take it and just come. It's gonna be a good time. You all should all find out.
Cool.
Thanks, Lisa.
All right, guys.